So you guys have some experience with WeVideo under your belt. You've done 3 different projects practicing with the Pineapple Whip raw footage. You guys imitated the first one, and then you created one that just included some sound bites and B-roll, and then you just did a montage of natural sound. So now that you're somewhat familiar, we're going to start practicing with ways to do our stories this year. And the first of which is going to include recording ourselves for our reporter stand up. Before we can begin that, you can see I'm on the dashboard of WeVideo. We're going to go ahead and go into projects, and we're going to hit the plus sign down at the bottom because we're going to create a new project. It's going to ask me where I want to record and save my files to, so I want to do that here. The headline for this story that we're all going to be working on this week is HHS students adapt to hybrid, remote learning. Okay. I'm going to call this personal. Okay. We haven't played with the shared function yet. Okay. I don't want to add media to it yet. Those are all pictures from another project. So I'm going to hit, it's going to give me some options from templates. Nothing I want there. We're just going to hit cancel. So I can see I now have this project here. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And the first thing we're going to play with is how to record our reporter stand-up. The option that you're going to pick from is the same one that you use to record your voiceover, except this time we're going to give access to the webcam. So I know that at least one of my journals and 2 students was having issues with your webcam. I think that we should interact and you should be proactive about reaching out to the tech email address I have posted on the stream of Google Classroom so that you can get a Chromebook that can record you, unless you can find a way around it that's easy. But right now I'm going to go to recording, and you're going to see it's going to ask for me to have some options. Do I want to do my webcam? Do I want to do screen or screen and webcam? It's also going to ask me where I want to save this. So I'm going to click here's where I want to save it. We're going to do webcam, and I'm going to hit next. Okay, it's going to let me see myself, so you can see myself on the side talking about myself now. And I'm going to go ahead and do a script for this opening, my opening to this story. The COVID-19 pandemic has turned much of what we know as normal upside down, and that's no different at Hamilton High School. This year, the school has set forth both a hybrid and remote learning plan for students. We're a couple weeks in so far, so we're curious about how things are going to go. That was terrible, by the way. I was just winging that. I'm going to give you a script in retrospect. So I'm going to hit save. Okay, and now you can see I have that footage in my timeline. The COVID-19 pandemic has turned much of what we know as normal upside down, and that's no different at Hamilton High School. This year, the school has set forth both a hybrid and remote learning plan for students. We're a couple weeks in so far, so... Oh, I'm going to cut that off early, actually. So far. Boom, let's cut that baby. Boop, and let's delete that last part. So anyway, not amazing, but nonetheless. So we have this here. Now, you don't have to necessarily have your face in front of the camera the whole time. You know as well as I do, I'm kind of a fan of just having B-roll and voiceover instead. I feel like they're more polished and professional. However, I wanted to practice with the opportunity to go back here, add a lower third, and to decide as a group perhaps which one you guys like best. So they have a lot of text options here for us, but if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see that some are specific to lower thirds. So there's this marquee lower third, there is descriptive left lower third. I'm kind of a fan of that one at quick glance. I'm scrolling down, there's a primary text. Let's practice with that one. Ooh, fancy. So let me pop this down on me, okay, and let's edit it. All right, so I'm going to put my name. Let's pretend my name is Jane Newscaster, and my secondary text is going to be reporter. So let's go ahead and see how that looks. The COVID-19 pandemic has turned much of what we know as normal upside down, and that's no different at Hamilton High School. This year, the school has set forth both a hybrid and remote learning plan for students. We're a couple weeks in so far. I cut it off too short. Oh, nope, I don't want to hear. You don't want to hear all that again. Boop. Or okay. So at this point, you're thinking, Miss Gerst, that's about the extent of what you want me to do today. Well, actually, no. So, like I said, we kind of have to be creative with how we collect interviews. And I thought it would be worthwhile to spend at least the next 2 days practicing with our ability to reach out to possible interview subjects using our cell phones, okay? And having them, perhaps if we're remote, send us video interviews if they're willing to participate, or you guys can just interview each other for this purposes of this exercise. We could also just interview people we see in school if you're in person on your particular day. A couple guidelines I want to give you, and if you're having trouble with it, I want you to reach out to me. When you are shooting your interviews, you're going to use your cell phones for the purposes of today or this project. You're going to shoot it horizontally, okay? Apply the rule of thirds, okay? You can even add that grid to your phone and provide that instruction maybe to anybody that is willing to like give you a little sound bite. You could tell them it's not going to be live or we're not going to use it. At least that's not the game plan right now. And we wouldn't do it unless we ask permission. But you want to shoot them horizontally. This way you don't have that weird space in between where we have to fill in. And I want you to today try to reach out to 3 people. They could be classmates, they could be friends, they could be anybody. And the question you want to ask them is this. Well, it's not really a question. Tell me about what the school experience has been like so far in terms of classes and learning. Okay. And see what comes from any discussion you have with them. We just kind of need a quick soundbite to practice with. All right. And then what you're going to do, I would add those to your Google Drive. Okay. Because then what you're going to find is you go back in your media for this project. Where am I at? This one right here. I should be able to upload media and grab it from my drive and pull it up there. So if you can get them to send you a video, or you can take it yourself, even if you're interacting with friends maybe that are also remote learning, and you just say, hey, listen, tell me something, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to go on the website. But have them do it, and then what you're going to do is import it to your drive, and then you're going to be able to pull it from your drive here. At the end of that process, you're just going to do a little closing too. You could just say, for the devil's advocate, this is, Jane Newscaster, something like that. And we will go from there. So I'm thinking maybe we can accomplish this in 2 to 3 days, maybe Wednesday. I'm going to ask you guys in the comments section today to say, like, listen, was this hard? Was this easy? What do you need help with? If we could export and attach to Google Classroom by Wednesday, that would be ideal. And then I'm kind of ready to start story pitching. The only other thing I guess we have to decide is what particular lower third we want to use for our people that we interview. When I scrolled down, I want to see if there was a variation. Pick one you think looks good so far, at least out of this list, and maybe I'll pick a style that we're consistent with all the way through. This one doesn't look bad. Does it look too different than this one? I guess we could see. Find one that you think looks good or looks very professional, and maybe we can, I'll take a look at how they look and then maybe pick a consistent one that we'll work with this year. Again, I'm aware that we're not always doing videos, but I did want to organize, at least on a basic level, how to put together a standard news package. I think I'm also going to see if I can create for you a place where you can get some footage of the school right now to maybe run over a little bit of your reporter's opening. You can layer that, and that would probably make it even more polished. Okay, reach out to me. Again, you guys are the people who are learning this, and you're essentially training me as I work with you on this new program. Touch base with me or reach out to me. I especially think it'd be great if we could do maybe an optional Google Meet on Wednesday at 11:40 to touch base, and maybe I can see your screens and give you that more interactive help if you're having issues, especially if you're all remote. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.